Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Calypso Showcase. Our special guest tonight, when he appears on stage, they say his clothes is funny, his song is funny, in fact, his sobriquet is funny. Donrick Williamson, welcome to Calypso Showcase. Well, first of all, what part of Trinidad did you grow up? Where were you, where did you hang out in your early youth?
Movant, Cipriani Street, Movant. I was actually born in Port of Spain, but I left there as a baby. I grew up in Mova.
And did that environment have anything to do with the type of calypsonian that you are today?
Well, a bit, yes. Although, I mean, what I do comes natural, but, I grew up in Mova as a place with a lot of humor, at least the area I live in, a lot of humor, a lot of young men, grow in that area, and we used to have fun.
Well, the name Funny, it's obvious why that's sobriquet, but when did you actually decide to use that as a title for your calypso career?
When I decided I'm going to start to sing, actually, some people started calling me funny because my bigger brother, apparently they used to call him funny. When they see me, they used to call me funny. And, that name stick on me. When I decided to sing calypso, I couldn't find another name, so I used funny. All my friends was calling me that.
Something we have talked about in this program before, a lot of calypsonians shy away from humorous type calypsos. Why do you think that is so?
Well, it's hard to make. Humorous calypso is not easy. And then it must come natural, Humor is something comes natural, If anybody can do humor. Mm-hmm. It's something that comes out of you, your lifestyle, the way you think. That's how humor.
So it's more than just lyrics then?
Yeah, it's more than that. It's got to come from, the person.
In terms of the recognition that humor as a category of calypso, do you have any recommendations as far as that is concerned? What can be done?
Humor as a category? I don't know. Maybe and that is something we're trying, if you're speaking about like in the competitions and so. Yeah, well, humor, like any other things, it could make a category, yes.
Because it seems never to really hold its own against the political and social commentary and some of the heavier topics. And maybe there is a need for some sort of encouragement for those people who hold on to that humorous category.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, well, it's worth a try. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of talk about it, putting in the competition categories, and I think it's something somebody should start, trying to work on and try it and see how it works.
All right, well, we're going to take a look at the calypso life of Donrick Williamson tonight. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll go to his home. It's a strange thing that many calypsonians start their career at the CDC tent, and you are no exception. Way back in 1966. Tell us how you came to audition and become part of that calypso tent.
Yeah, well, a friend had introduced me to King Solomon sometime because of a schoolmate of mine who sing. He used to do a lot of pops and things, and I met King Solomon after that one day in Port of Spain, and he told me about the Calypso Association. He introduced me there, and I joined, and around Carnival time when they had the audition, I went on audition, and I got selected to sing in the tent.
Well, it's fascinating that your first calypso is a tune which is one of your trademark songs, and which was not, by any stretch of imagination, a funny calypso, Sweet Sweet Trinidad. Tell us about that composition.
Yeah, well, what happened is too that that song, I changed some of the lyrics when I recorded it. I sang that in 66 and recorded it. It wasn't recorded until 75. Well, I just decided to make a song about Trinidad. As a matter of fact, that song was made together with a couple dozen songs that I had before, a long time. Foreigners always asking me why in Trinidad people so happy, what to do. Man, I had to tell them the truth. I say a man could sleep until 10 o'clock, get up and still ain't late for walk away you hurry for. He getting transport in front the door. And this poke they go in whole day and on pay they still throw a big fat pay. If they like, they could call a big strike. So I tell them, sweet, sweet Trinidad, boss, I love this country bad. I don't want to leave at all. Ever since a small look a ball in sweet, sweet Trinidad, brother was a feeling glad. When I dead, please bury me in the center of the city. Yes. I was doing that in a song they call Vicey, which was a suggestive song. Both of them are on record.
Now tell me, I know that we started in 66, but where did Calypso really begin for you?
On the block. I used to, I had a guitar. I took 2 lessons and I learned to play a little bit, and I used to sing a lot on the block by me. And a guy who used to live in the area introduced me to a group they call Entertainers Association, which I joined, and they used to do little shows about the country. So I was singing a little before I came on the Calypso scene in the 10s. I entered a competition in 1965 when my friends told me they saw this thing advertised in the papers. I went and I was one of the finalists. I know I won the competition, although I didn't come in the first 3. As a matter of fact, I was told so after, and the whole thing was changed. There had a lot of confusion in it. I was doing a song they called Missing Ball and Just Imagine. Just imagine, friend, imagine that man with a hung-tree hair, he put on him hand. Your hand damaged, you ain't off the street. Just screw up your hand and put it on the heel. You know them little boys.
What was the first Calypso you ever composed in your life?
A song called A Dozen Men on the Ground, which was a gunslinger tune.
You can remember any part of it?
Yeah, it was something like this. I just leave me home peacefully and go into work. I don't look for noise. With nobody I do make joke. But they just watch you just like that and start to beat you up. And if you ain't drop cold dead, friends they wouldn't stop. But I ain't want no guns, I ain't want no knife. I don't want no cutlass, but when I want their life, I walk in with hand grenades, dynamite or even bomb. I show when I pull the pin, a dozen men on the ground.
Amazing.
Thinking a dozen one time.
Well, who are some of the Calypsonians that you looked up to in the early stages of your career?
Oh, well, of course, fellas like Melody, of course, Kitchener Sparrow, Spoiler was one. Christo. A lot of these guys, I used to listen to, of course, I didn't know a lot of these guys, like Spoiler is one guy, I never knew him, I've never even seen him sing. Yeah, you hear fellas like Lion and Viper and all these, these fellas singing, and I always had an interest, in the Calypso. See, this is the land of Calypso, I always love Calypso.
But people always compare you to the mighty Spoiler. Did you set out to sing humorous calypsos from the start of your career?
No, not really. No. Although I was always, I used to humor the guys on the block. Most of my early songs were humor, and as you saw, the first song wasn't a humor song.
Correct.
I like humor. I mean, humor is my thing. I grew up in a neighborhood, with a lot of humor.
Well, when we continue with your career and we look at 1969, as early as that, a tune like Farmer Brown, which has again become one of your trademarks, one of your classics. Tell us what prompted you to come up with a calypso like Farmer Brown.
Okay. Well, I noticed through the years before, always hears guys singing songs, and when they reach to that point, they always say ayo or ipa. They wouldn't say the word. And I always tell myself, one of these days I'll be able to make a guy so that I could bring that out. I was going through a student companion once, as I saw where the male is called the Jack and the female is Jenny, and I said, well, that was the message, and I decided to make it. But Farmer Brown, I started to make Farmer Brown about a whole family, the typical family of son, daughter, mother and father. And it was taking too much time to introduce the whole family. And I just say, away with the rest of them, just the farmer alone, and I decided to deal with just Farmer Brown, yeah.
Well, it turned out to be one of the biggest hits of 1969, and subsequently, I think anytime you go on a stage, people want to hear that calypso.
Yes, Farmer Brown was one. It was the first recording out there, and it was very popular.
Farmer Brown tied the jackass on a rotten tree. Then he jumped on the bike and he gone down the road in the rum shop to spree. The jackass prance up and get away, and it gone cross by neighbor John. The neighbor gone to the farmer in the shop and start to get on. He tell him, that jackass of yours, Farmer Brown, you better come and see, because it pulled down the tree, bust away the chain and it inside the property. You are sure going to lose it, so you better do something fast, because if it should damage my property, so help me, I'll kill your ass, I tell you.
The success that you gained in 1969 sort of set you up for 1970. People were looking at Funny and saying, what is this guy going to come with in 1970? And not many people remember how successful 1970 was for you. In fact, my first real anytime I think of you, I remember you all in white with this oversized toothbrush in the Grand Savannah singing Check It Up or Check Up or something like that.
Check Up.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that composition in the year 1970.
Yeah, well, 1970 was one of, I think, if not the best, one of the best years I had, because I was doing two songs which used to get 4 and 5 encores, both songs. Check Up and Suck It to Me. And I remember that year getting hoarse. And I couldn't sing for about 4 nights, and I used to go on the stage and dance. And they used to anchor the dance because people just wanted to see me there. Well, Check Up was is about the teeth. Well, I sing it a lot now. I resurrect it and bring it back now. Suck It to Me I haven't done for a long time. And I got into the finals.
You eat and you drink and all life is sweet, but when last did you check up on your teeth? You eat up, you drink up, you say life sweet, but why don't you make a check on your teeth? Your teeth is a thing must clean every day. If you don't, your teeth will sure to decay. Just look at my teeth, so clean and white too. So why don't you try to do as I do? I get up in the morning, I brush. After I had my lunch, I brush. If I eat between meals, I brush. After my dinner time, I brush. And if I happen to just drink some whiskey or gin, before I go to sleep, I go and brush again. Yeah.
You know, that song, our little history, a guy who used to work in the Antigua airport, he said he came down one night and he heard me singing, and once he had a night off again and he took a flight and come down just to hear that song, and I was in Antigua and he carried me home to sing it for his children. He says, educational, check up. Yeah.
Well, I always remember you being one of the high points of the cast in the 70s. And let's talk about some of the material that you offered us in the 70s.
Okay, we had, well, in 70, Check Up and Suck It to Me. I had songs like Bam.
Bamsi.
Yeah, yeah, Bam was done in the 70s, yes.
That was 75,
right,
around there, right?
Yeah.
And there was another tune I remember you had
Soul
on an
Chick.
album, Soul Chick.
Yeah, Soul Chick was 7-inch, on a 7-inch. Well, Soul Chick, so that was my biggest hit, that was 73.
What do you think accounted for that selling so much?
Well, I know people just like it, you know.
Had a nice catchphrase?
Yes, what happened is I have noticed that everybody was using the slang. So everybody was using the slang. The smallest child to the oldest person.
Yes, my neighbor way Molly asked me to build a cook for she. She couldn't stay, she was busy, so she leave she daughter home with me. But she daughter chasing me, the girl up under me the whole day. And anything I do, you see, she only asking me how you could walk so, how you could knock so, how you could groove, how you could move, how you could wail, how you could nail, how you could do.
I was in Madison Square Garden that year to sing. I went up there and a guy called me and asked me how much money I made from it. And while I was, thinking of what to tell him, he said, I understand that song sells over 500,000. And, I didn't take him serious. I thought he was exaggerating. I mean, it's not until some years after I realized that the song really did something, some years after, because a lot of people told me a lot of things about the song. One journalist told me it sell like hops bread in Europe. I know for a fact it crossed the 100,000 sold check. I know that. I even sang it in the prisons. And surprisingly, all the prisoners, when I started singing, they just catch on to the chorus and started singing it. Prison in New York. Yeah.
What about the style of dress that you use on the stage? How much thought do you put into that?
Well, lately now, my wife have a lot to do with the way I dress. She usually buy the materials and, design a lot of it too.
I remember once you performed a long tie, touching all the way to the ground.
That was my own thing. I got that in a shop in New York, a tie, and I had a big glasses, shades too, a handkerchief. Yeah, well, that is my own thing. Well, that has nothing to do with what I sing. And when I do these things, I'm just clunging. It has nothing to do with what I'm singing.
Part of your presentation.
And just being funny.
Let's talk about some of the tunes that have stood out over the years as trademark tunes. A tune like, say, Skruku Cheek. And I mean, just the title of that song, what would give you the idea? What inspiration did you get to come up with a name like Skruku Cheek?
Well, I had to find a name a name for the song, and I mean, imagine you're in an old wooden motel and you're here, I mean, it's creaking when people walk, it's creaking, and you turn on the bed, it's making noise. I slept on bed like that already, with the spring sticking here and all of that. And if you're here in a bed here and making a noise on one day and one day, all around you're making noise, I mean, I had to find a name for the noise, I had to find somewhere how the noise going, so it was Skruku Cheek.
I had to spend a night in a old wooden motel. Nothing there was right, by the smell alone you could tell. On my right side it have a couple, on my left side another couple. The mattress lumpy, the floorboards creaking. To talk about the old bed spring, they go Skruku Cheek. On my right side, Skruku Cheek. On the left side, Skruku Cheek. All around me, Skruku Cheek. And that lumpy mattress nearly drive me mad. And it's Skruku Cheek. Whole night I had it hard.
You are one of what we call the uncrowned kings, and I think truly, if there is an uncrowned king, you are one, in that you've always pleased the people, but you've never really received that regal stature. In performing in the NJAC Uncrowned Kings, you chose a certain number of tunes, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you feel, because we have a special place for that in terms of the independence, the 25th. But one of the other tunes that you sang, beside Farmer Brown, which was one of the tunes, you sang a tune called A Soul Man.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about A Soul Man and the double entendre that you tried to get out of that.
Yeah, I did that in 81. Well, social commentary. Well, I was watching the situation in the country, and I think around that time is when things started to, you know, change in the country a lot, and reading in the papers, and seeing little stories in the papers, and watching what's going on around. The idea came to me about the soul men, these people only souling, and that's how the idea came.
Them politicians in this country only good for cocktail party instead of they see about the country. They digging soul with some young lady, always with a glass, drinking whiskey mouthful, like they always hungry, whining and dancing, and believe me, digging soul more than anybody. Who they put in charge of we culture? Ah, soul man. Who in charge of agriculture? Ah, soul man. Who's supposed to see about them highways? Ah, soul man. Who's supposed to fix up the byways? Ah, soul man. Yeah.
One of the other tunes you sang at that Uncommon King show was a tune called Hypocritical World, and this was so unfunny. Like, tell us about that.
Oh, hypocrite. Well, that's a social commentary, yes. Well, that's the kind of world we're living in, a hypocritical world. And I just see it fit to make a song. That was for the Unconquering, because we had to do a new song. And well, I have a lot of serious ideas, in my mind. And when that competition came up and I realized I had to do a new song, I just decided to work on that one, hypocritically. Well, that song is just about the hypocrites, in the world.
In this corrupt world, everybody wants control, and those who's at the top, it's they who have the place so corrupt. Others say they care because they want to get up there, and whenever they get through, the corruption just continue. Hypocrites in the government, hypocrites in the House of Parliament, hypocrites, them politicians, hypocrites, yes, ruling the nation, hypocrites, 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 hypocrites. Living in a hypocritical world. Yes? Tell you?
There was a NJAC sponsored show. I think it was a night of fun and laughter. And it's the first time I ever heard you sing a song composed by someone else. A song called Sponsorship, written by Dakron. What prompted that?
Well, they asked me to do that. They gave me a tape to learn the song. And I did it, I think most of the singers were singing somebody else's song. Yes, and they wanted me to do that one, and I did it.
Last week when I met Lord Funny, my friends, well, is he who tell me that the university recommends sponsors for we. I say, Funny, that's a good thing. No longer will we be scrunting. He say, happiness at hand, suitable sponsors for every Calypsonian. And then he tell me, Fernandez go be sponsor in Terra, and Castura go take your Pretender. The zoo gonna sponsor the Brigo. They want Burroughs to sponsor Valentino. Quattro Center and Sagoms done offer sponsorship for Lord Blakey and the Prowler. The Mighty Shadow, he go be them all. He go be sponsored by the Sentence Hospital. Tell you?
Let's go to 1987 and the 25th anniversary of our independence, when I would say it was another high point in your career, when you made a big impact on the public with this tune, How You Feel. Let's talk about How You Feel.
Yeah, well, this competition was coming up. I heard about it, and I thought about the idea hit me, you know, How You Feel. You know, they had you know, everybody had to sing what do you call it?
The independence.
A theme. Yes, they had a theme that they had to do. And I thought about, you know, how you feel, because how you feel is something always in your mind, you know, about the independence. So it wasn't, I didn't have to look hard to find out how I feel. And, but the funny thing about it is just that word, how you feel, it gives me a lot of trouble to find that word. And I know what I wanted to do, but the word, how you feel, it takes me, and as a matter of fact, the song started from the second verse. I never made the first verse. Because the way I wanted to introduce the song, I was getting a lot of trouble in introducing the song. I decided, look, let me go to the second verse and then come back. And I was getting so much trouble to introduce the song that the song ended up starting there in the second verse.
Trinidadians and Tobagonians, this land belongs to every man, and since we got independency, it means hard work for you and me. Independence means unity. It means you gotta fight. It means we need cooperation. Fight with all your might. It means if you have to work your fingers to the bone. It means that you're on your own. 25 years after, how you feel? You feel you put your shoulders to the wheel. You feel you put fire and achieve. You feel you clean up the mess. You feel you could stand up proud and say, you feel that you did your best. You feel that we just keep moving on. Go back on we heel. 25 years after, how you feel? Yes. Tell you.
It went well.
Very well indeed. In fact, you won the prize for the best composed Calypso on independence. So it must have been a disappointment that you didn't win the overall competition.
Well,
the second tune, Them Confounded Children. What happened, do you think?
Well, they probably didn't like humor. Well, yes, well, I think, you know, they was expecting something else. You know, I decided to do Confounded Children, and a lot of people liked it. You know, a lot of people call me after, and they like the song, particularly the women. Yeah, they like Confounded Children. I say they like the song, Confounded Children. I just choose to do that because I wanted to do something more humorous, you know, on the different side.
Them confounded children living next to me. Well, they have their whole life in well misery. It's about 15 of them, both girls and boys. They would rum, they would swear, they would jump, they would play man his whole night, and they look at can't get away noise. Mommy, Joe take me pillow. Mommy, Johnny mash me too. Mommy, even in my place. Mommy, Fred making monkey face. Mommy, Patrick pity bed. Mommy, don't cuff me in my head. Mommy, I want some water to drink. Mommy, Daphne mouth smelling stink. Yes. I tell you.
If I had to select a tune that probably had the most depth in it other than How You Feel, it would be Time Flies. And, you know, it can even recite like poetry, and I would like you to go through the chorus of that for me.
Oh, yeah. And day before yesterday was yesterday, yesterday was today, yesterday. Today was tomorrow, yesterday. Tomorrow, today gonna be yesterday. Day after tomorrow, tomorrow gonna be yesterday.
While walking in the city, I met an old girl friend. We grew up on small. She was surprised to see how much that I got. And so handsome and tall. She said it doesn't seem like long. We were so very young. You mean so much time went by. Like was just the other day. We used to run and play. Oh, how time could really fly. So I show her day before yesterday. Was yesterday, yesterday. Yesterday was today. Yesterday. Today was tomorrow. Yesterday. Tomorrow, today will be yesterday. Day after tomorrow. Tomorrow will be yesterday.
Another good song, just a couple of years ago that you wrote, certain things remind me of certain things.
Yeah. I think I got that idea from I think Rio prompted that idea to me. I think most time when a person give me an idea, sometimes it take me 2 or 3 years before I actually work on it. Yeah. But you know, when it really hit me and I decided to do it, yeah, certain things remind me of certain things. And that's how it came about. I just, you know, simple. Certain things remind me of certain things and I just work on it.
People always asking me why I sing certain things. What does be going through your head? Where you does be thinking? Boy, them calypsos is really something. How you think about them things to sing? All I could say, friends, don't dig nothing. You see, certain things does remind me of certain things. The Tesoro scandal and John O'Halloran does remind me of Eric Williams. When I remember Eric dead and gone forever, but then I don't remember is he was PNM. The other day I see a white person in the lap of a blonde lady, and I remember my partner Georgie. Certain things remind me of certain things. That is why I always sing certain things. Yes.
Sometimes do you find yourself getting a mental block, nothing coming?
Yes, yes, it happens. Yeah, that happens, and most times my ideas either come early, very late, in between there, like in the middle of the year, I'm just struggling. Most times.
Did that cause you to sing a calypso called What to Sing?
Right. Yeah, but that came down very well. That is what happened. You know, I didn't know what to sing, and that is how the idea came.
What to sing when you don't know what to sing? It's really nerve-wracking. Look at you, how you sit down listening to hear how I come in. All my fans, them asking me what I come in with. Everybody want to hear a little piece of me hit. But I have nothing to sing, and you know I wouldn't lie. So every night I'm coming back to tell you why. I wanted was to sing about the ministry I have. How it is a failure. Wassa is a waste. Tea and egg is who. Them is disaster area. Or sing over a old song. Like Sparrow, Coco man that mash the place down. So I decide to sing over Farmer Brown and the jackass I'm done. But But his jockey tell me sing about the jackass alone. He say sing about Robinson. Yes, I tell you.
What stands out in your career?
Well, a lot of things. The independence competition, the song. After that competition, my phone rang for 2 days. Yeah, 2 days straight, and my mother couldn't get me. So every time she ring, the phone was busy. People ring all day. I remember even from New York. 4 o'clock in the morning, when I stepped in this house, and that's the phone was ringing, and I couldn't sleep.
25 years have gone, how you feel? You feel we have things covered and well sealed. You feel that them leaders paved the way. You feel that we produce champs. You feel well honesty was a must, or you feel was a set of scams. You feel things looking shaky to fall, or we standing solid like steel. 25 years are gone, how you feel?
Welcome back to the live portion of Calypso Showcase. Our featured Calypsonian tonight is Donrick Williamson, the Funny, or Lord Funny. Just Funny?
Funny.
Just Funny. And Funny has been reacting to a lot of those videos he's been seeing, and perhaps you can share with us some of your thoughts as you look back at your career.
Yeah, well, some of the songs sung better than I thought they were. Yeah, that's mainly the music arrangement I was listening to, because most of my older recordings, the quality is not as good as recordings now. Yeah.
We already have a caller from Port of Spain, so let's take that call now. Good evening, Port of Spain.
Yes, good night, Funny. I'd just like to say this is one of your fans calling. And I'd just like to say that I like the aspect you take on the funnier part of life. And I'd like to know where you could get some of your music from in the 70s and the 80s.
Could you speak up a bit, please? Yes.
Yes, I'd like to get some information where you get some of your music from the 70s and the 80s.
Are we going to talk a little bit about that? The guy would like to know where he can get some of your music from.
Well, I don't know that there's any of that music available in the shops. But I plan to do over most of those songs. As a matter of fact, we almost started to do them. Yes, so it would be on CD and cassette mainly.
Right.
Hopefully, later down in the year, it would be available.
All right, we have another caller from Samoa. Good evening.
Evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you there.
Yes, I would like to say good night to Funny and congratulations
Good night.
on all of your achievements. I look forward every year to going to the test just to see you dance. And I hope you never lose your dance. I admire your consistency and I love the humor in your work. So just keep it up.
Thank you.
St. James on the line. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you there.
Hello, I just want to say that Funny, I love you and keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.
Right, tell us a little bit more about how many tunes are you likely to have on that CD, and what are some of the choices?
About 16 tracks. Well, we have like Farmer Brown, Soul Chica, Soul Man, Bam, Toonie. Some of the songs that I'm sure a lot of people are not familiar with, like Bacchanal in Hell. Time Flies would be on it. Time Travel too. There's one song I did somewhere in the 70s called Time Travel. Can't remember all the songs now, but Confounded Children, I'll put that one on too. Certain Things should be on it too. It's Crooked Cheek.
And 25 years of how you feel?
No,
You're not sure?
I don't know.
I think you should put that. To me, it's one of your trademark tunes. Anyhow, let's talk to Shagwanas. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, good evening.
Yeah,
Yes.
good evening.
I want to say that, Lord Funny, you have done a beautiful job, man. I was sitting here and listening to your program, looking at you. You have done well, and I think you're supposed to be a recognized person. I mean, more than you are. I am the brother of an Indian dancer in the Shagwanas area, and I really feel impressed the way I see you, the way you perform.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Well, I think too that you haven't heard a lot of the music.
Yeah,
There's
there are a lot of
there's
tunes
just a
we've left
few
off.
over there.
What sort of advice would you give to an aspiring Calypsonian who wants to get into humor? What are some of the pointers that you would give him?
Well, of course, if you want to get into, well, humor is something comes natural, you know. If you know, I mean, you could do it. It comes natural. Humor, you got the topics. You got to. It's something very hard to explain somebody how to do or what to do because you know it's something that comes out of you.
Well, maybe what we can do is demonstrate to our public. So after we take this call from Aruk, I have a special video of you singing a tune, which I hadn't told you about before. But maybe this will demonstrate how to put over true humor. But let's talk to Aruka first. Good evening, Aruka.
Hello, good night.
Yes?
I just want to say congratulations, Funny. Keep up the good work. And what I would like to see is a concert in Funny.
I think that
Oh, yeah.
must be in the offing. Well, we're going to present a special video we have by Funny, a calypso called The Mighty Dum Dum. And I think this will demonstrate how you can work humor depending on the type of person you are. The Funny singing The Mighty Dum Dum.
They call the mighty Dum Dum was singing in a calypso tent for Butler Rum. Please pack up with people, sit down there listening. Dum Dum walk on the stage and he started to sing and we tell them.
You remember that performance?
Yes, that I did that song in '72. It was difficult to do that without the chorus, you know. The chorus wasn't coming through properly on that
particular video.
Yeah, you got to do.
But I remember you
chorus.
sending an audience into stitches with that calypso. People were interpreting all your actions in different ways and putting their own meanings to some of
I
the...
think I was in the semifinals that year, yes, when it used to be Naparima Bowl. Yes, I did that in a song called Bacchanal in Hell. It was about where a dreamer was in hell.
So many tunes that you've done because we couldn't cover all of the material that you had to offer. We have someone holding on from Pity Valley. Good evening, Pity Valley.
Good evening.
Yes?
Good.
Oh, yes, I was just, how are you? Funny?
I'm okay.
That's good. Our entire family home here, we admire the way you perform. We enjoy all your calypsos, and I just like to congratulate you on your success. And I hope that you will have more coming in.
Thank you very much.
Another caller from Longdenville. Good evening, Longdenville.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes?
Funny, good night.
Good.
I'd like to say I'm glad for you. And you inspire me very much. And I hope you keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
What does 1994 hold for you?
Well, I hope it's going to be my best year. Well, I'm working on a few songs there. I would be at the same tent, and together with this record that I'm planning to do, I hope something would go over into '94, and which we are planning to. This is really is for international audience really because it will be done in the conventional way, no electronics. This recording, and as far as I understand, it would be American distributors, it would be the American shops and all of that. Because the producer is a member of the American Producers Association.
Okay, we have a caller from St. James. Good evening.
Good night. Funny, pleasant good night.
Yeah, good night.
I never really knew much about you until I saw this show that your music, it really interests me. You understand? It really interests me. What I'd like to know is, within your social commentary, if the music you sing about, like like how you call Robinson and all these things. And is really the way you feel about these people?
No, not really. That was just, I remember I was telling you who somebody told me that. Sing that. Not really.
Okay, let's talk to Bonia. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
I want to congratulate you on Funny on his
Talk up, please.
over the years. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
I want to congratulate Funny on his achievement through the years. And what I want to tell him is I want to just let him that on his album that he's going to make, I'm suggesting that he, on the jacket he put 25 years ago.
How you feel?
Yeah.
Well, that is something to
got
think
some
about.
support there. Tunapuna, good evening.
Funny, are you hearing me?
Good evening.
Loud and clear.
Yes, Mr. Funny. You know the person who you're speaking to, you know, this is a guy who used to be lining with Chuck and you all, I think, a couple of years ago when he used to do a lot of shows in schools and stuff. I told that guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All the time, you know who it is.
Right, right.
But anyway, I had to say congratulations, like all times on the good job you're doing. But you know, you keep on talking about this Bacchanal in Hell. Now, I vaguely remember this tune, but it's a tune that I know that I like a lot. So I don't know, probably I switched on the program kind of late, and I don't know probably if you had a recording of that earlier on in the program. Did you have a recording of that earlier on in the program?
No, unfortunately, we didn't have a video recording of Bacchanal in Hell.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Funny, without any music and thing, I don't know probably think it could be a whistle for us. That's a request of you for the night. And then I think next time I think you're talking.
Well, if
You
once,
think that's possible?
if once I have time, I will do it.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's a
Okay, okay. Yes, friends, a dream that I went in hell. I never know that down in hell was so swell. Yes, funny dream that he went in hell. I never know that down in hell was so swell. If you see lovely carpets there to walk on, and the whole place covered with nice grassy lawn, people for so casting their spell, woman in the place, Bacchanal in hell. And if you see them out there smoking ganja, drinking liquor, man and no man fetting, without a thing on the skin. And even though they cut off your head, you ain't care a thing, brother, you done dead. Tell you.
Move on the line. Good evening, Mova.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Good
Yes,
evening.
we're hearing you.
Hello, good afternoon. Funny?
Uh-huh.
Pleasant good night to you, sir.
Yes, good evening.
I want to congratulate you on your tunes. It's rather unique. You have a styling that is different to everyone, and I want to appreciate the way how you sing. You're a naturalist. But I want to find out when you are having your concert again, man.
Well, I mean, if you want to sponsor one, I don't mind, eh? You know,
I mean to say, when you listen to your commentary in words, it's something to sit down and enjoy, man.
Exactly. So, well, I always think that my concert is for a listening audience, a sitting down audience.
Well, we look forward to that. Well, we want to remind you again about the Calypso Showcase tapes, which some of you keep calling in and asking about. We've got everything from the first program right down to the latest ones. You just call 628-8637. Remember, you get 2 programs on a 2-hour tape. 2 programs tied together. 2 hours, it's a clean recording. Just call 628-8637. That number again, 628-8637. Just one more call tonight from Sangre Grande. Good evening.
Good night. I'd like to say good night, Funny.
Yeah, good night.
Congratulations. What I'd like to do, I'd like to make a suggestion that you make a video, man.
Well,
We've also been talking about that.
yeah, we were speaking about that earlier. It costs a lot of money, yeah, but we'll try.
A lot of things for the future.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you, Funny, for coming on the show. And it's been an interesting night with you. And we want to let you know that next week we'll be taking a sort of preview look at Pan Ramage. The month of May is Pan Ramage month, and we hope to do 2 special programs on Pan Ramage Next week, we'll take a preview of Panorama Mache. See you next week on Calypso Showcase.
We got we big oil field just in south. We have all kind of things to talk about, no regret. You just have to get up and get. And anytime things a little bad, man, you have a garden in your backyard, and no doubt the food almost in your mouth. We got women, color, class, or creed. Any kind of a woman that you need, you could bet. The sweetest woman you could get. Sweet, sweet Trinidad, was the longest country man. I don't want to leave at all. Ever since a small look of all in sweet Trinidad, brother was a feeling glad when I did bury me in the center of the